Hello, welcome to the show. This is Cryptids and Conspiracies, where the truth is in the middle. Anyway, so tonight we are going to look into the museum, the National Attic, the entirely benign entity known as the Smithsonian. Or is it? Anyway, we're going to talk about that tonight. So to talk about our American institution, we're going to bring in a guy from Scotland.
If it's no Scottish, it's crap!
Hey, hello.
So welcome to the show. So how much do you know about the Smithsonian, Mr. Barab?
Hang on a second, let me just think there. About absolutely nothing.
All right. So we're going to educate you.
Indeed, yeah. I thought I'd come into this blind and get a perspective that way.
No problem. No problem. Well, speaking of perspective, yeah, well, maybe not. Anyway, this guy.
Sir, nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
It's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
So welcome to the show, Colin Furry.
Hello.
Hello.
I actually saw a Wookiee at the Comic-Con today that was about 7 foot tall.
Damn. Nice.
And he was about 280 if he was an ounce. Huge guy.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep. Taking a look at him, I was like, "Damn, if Wookiees were real, I'm not gonna tussle with them." Holy shit!
No, it's like,
Yep.
So here we go.
Hey,
He is right there, more or less. Smithsonian, the place they show ancient parkours. Who knows? Who knows?
We'll find out.
They have
ancient
everything
parkours.
else. Anyway, so basically, Smithsonian. Hold on a second. The Parkour's local union 69 has filed a grievance against you. They claim you violated the contract negotiated in good faith. Section 3, paragraph 3 has been violated. I hope we got
Good stuff.
Well,
I
this is my
I
show.
imagine-
Now started.
I imagine someone's been violated.
Well, this parkours,
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
Well, let me go ahead and point to the sign.
Is that what you're telling me?
There we go. Anyway. All right, so
The sign.
the sign. I have to point to the sign. But so anyway, so when it comes to Smithsonian, one thing we try to do around here is we try to be balanced. Well, we don't have slides because I'm running this show and we actually have video clips. So we're not going to sit here and read off of the screen because we didn't have like preparation in the video.
In paint, yeah.
Just saying. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is this is a Smithsonian according to the Smithsonian. So I removed their beginning and the end off the clip. So we don't have, them crawling up our butts. So here we go. So there you go.
Ooh, exciting.
Ooh.
So they have historical holdings of over 157 million items, only 1% for public consumption. 21 museum, 21 libraries, 14 educational research centers, a zoo, historical and architectural landmarks, mostly located in Washington, D.C. But they have facilities Maryland, New York, and Virginia. More than 200 institutions, museums in 47 states, Puerto Rico, Panama, Smithsonian affiliates. And institution publications include Smithsonian and Air and Space Museums. Okay, so we're not talking about a fly-by-night part here. I heard the line for the parkour display at Smithsonian goes around the block. There is no current parkour display.
Mrs. Good Stuff. So. We got them both here. Tag team. All right.
Yay. Joy. All right. Anyway.
Wait.
Oh.
And they serve punch and pie.
This is fake news.
What?
There is no parkour display at the Smithsonian. There is just not. There's not. Anyway. So the thing about it is the Smithsonian happens to be an organization that was like not even founded by an American. Okay. The money for the first Smithsonian Institute did not come from an American hand. Glasgow, we have the Museum of Used Chip Paper. Right. Wow. Okay. Lovely. I'm sure it's a fascinating affair. So anyway, Park Horsonian. Okay.
Park Horsonians.
Horsonian. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway. So this is I did not know this part, but this is about a nobleman's illegitimate son who made something of himself in the areas of chemistry and just science in general. And evidently he accrued some bit of a fortune. This might have come from family money, but anyway. So this is the longest video, second longest video, I think. Anyway. We're going to play it anyway. Here we go. Okay. Bet the Carnegies were involved. Well, maybe. All right, let's play this right quick. So this is James Smithson. So here you go.
Right. When you think of the Smithsonian, you think of its spectacular museums like Air and Space, Natural History, American History, and the institution's iconic headquarters on the National Mall known as the Castle. But remarkably, very few know about the institution's founding donor and namesake, James Smithson, or that his body lies within the castle in an elegant crypt, built for an Englishman who never stepped foot in America, but whose generosity made the Smithsonian Institution a reality. James Smithson was born in 1765, the illegitimate son of an English duke. His mother, a wealthy descendant of Henry VII, made sure that young James was given the finest education. Smithson's passion was science. At Pembroke College in Oxford, he excelled at both chemistry and mineralogy. To pursue his passions, he traveled extensively throughout Europe conducting field research. And at just 22 years of age, he was granted membership to the prestigious Royal Society of London. Over the next 40 years, Smithson published 27 scientific papers and was recognized as a highly accomplished chemist and mineralogist. In 1829, at the age of 64, James Smithson died in Genoa, Italy. A lifelong bachelor, Smithson willed his sizable estate to his nephew, Henry James Hungerford. It was an inheritance worth over $500,000, more than $12 million at current value. But in the event Henry died without an heir, Smithson's will stipulated the money would go to the United States of America to found at Washington the Smithsonian Institution, an establishment for the increase and diffusion of knowledge. The motive behind Smithson's remarkable bequest remains a mystery. He'd never traveled to the United States and never publicly expressed an interest to create an American version of the Royal Society. However, when his nephew Henry died in 1835 without an heir, Smithson's enormous donation was bound for the New World. In 1846, the United States Congress created the Smithsonian Institution as a trust to be administered by a board of regents. James Smithson's dream had become a reality. Over 55 years later, one of the Smithsonian's regents, Alexander Graham Bell, received some troubling news. James Smithson's burial site in Genoa was to be displaced to make way for a stone quarry. Bell moved quickly. In 1903, he received approval from his fellow regents to travel to Italy, exhume Smithson's remains, and transport them via boat to Washington, D.C. When Bell returned to D.C. in January 1904 with Smithson's remains, President Theodore Roosevelt sent the Marine Corps band to welcome him. Roosevelt also ordered the U.S. Cavalry to provide a horse-drawn carriage to bring him from the Navy Yard to the Smithsonian Castle. Once Smithson's coffin was safely housed in the institution, Bell said, "My mission is ended, and I deliver into your hands the remains of this great benefactor of the United States." Today, James Smithson's crypt rests in a small mortuary chapel within the northern section of the Smithsonian Castle. A marble copy of Smithson's memorial plaque from the original gravesite can be found on the crypt's wall. The featured item, however, is the large grave monument that stands near the crypt's eastern wall. It was retrieved from Smithson's original gravesite in Italy. The decorations on the urn, birds, leaves, snakes, shells, and more, are ancient symbols representing flight, victory, wisdom, power, and eternal rebirth. Inside the sarcophagus...
Okay, that's good enough. So this guy, nobody knows why. He never set foot in America. He didn't seem to have ties to America, but he chose to leave his extensive fortune to create an institution in America that was similar to the British institution, science, institution of science, and so let me tell you how big this is. So the annual budget's around $1.25 billion. And with 2/3 coming from annual federal appropriations, 2/3, so we're paying for it. Other funding comes from institutions' endowment, private and corporate contributions, membership dues, and earned retail concession and licensing revenue. As of 2021, which is 3 years ago now, so yeah. Wikipedia, update your shit. The institution's endowment had total value about $5.4 billion. That's their endowment, $5.4 billion.
Is that all? Ooh.
Yeah. So there's there's actually very few federal organizations that have that much of a that much of a slush fund. They do.
They have a couple of pennies then.
Oh, well, welcoming late to the game, this individual right here.
Abby someone. Abby someone. Abby who? Abby normal.
So,
hello.
Welcome to the show, Abby.
Yo.
Maybe more or less. More or less. No. Okay.
They cannot hear you.
Yeah, evidently not. Evidently not. But as our man Gobby likes to say,
who gives a shit? So such is the world today.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So welcome to the show.
Hello.
Welcome.
Okay.
News update from Mrs. Good Stuff.
Benny was just mad he didn't know you had to buy a separate ticket to get into the PW, i.e. parkour exhibit. Where if T-Pony really Harry Potter after he's grown up? I mean, he looks like a wizard. Lovely. Actually, it looks more like the Natural History Museum in London. Yes, pretty much that's what they wanted to create in America.
Right.
Lifelong bachelor equals gay. Very possibility. Well, Guggenheim collided with Rockefeller Foundation, Carnegie Endowment to control history. I imagine the Smithsonian is involved. Yes. And,
Oh yeah.
by the way, the
Possibly.
Guggenheims, one of them, I think went down with the Titanic.
Oh yeah. Is that
Don't
what it
forget
was?
the Louvre.
The Louvre, yeah.
Oh, the Louvre, right? Yeah.
Right. Looks like they use Julius Caesar's face and added hair. That's a possibility. With a little flip up hair, he definitely he definitely looked gay. Definitely. Never been to Smithsonian Museums on my bucket list. I hope they serve punch and pie by the time I make it there. It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Crackers
and
water
to give away punch and pie. Yes, they could. They could definitely give away punch and pie. They definitely have that money. So nothing looks really sinister that much except for this dude that absolutely had no connections to America suddenly giving us a slush fund to create this thing.
Yeah, just because.
Right. And how did the illegitimate Duke's son get that level of education and that level of financing? It's some questions there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this right here, this has something to do with it. What are the ties the Smithsonian has to the government? Well, here you go. Ooh.
This is the Regents' Room, is where it is. This is where the regents of the Smithsonian meet, and a lot of people don't understand how the Smithsonian is governed. It's governed by a 17-member board of regents that's headed by the Chief Justice of the United States, who is the chancellor of the institution. The Vice President of the United States serves on the board, as do 3 members of the House, 3 members of the Senate, and 9 citizen members for the 17 members. And this is where they meet.
I think I figured out the problem.
Uh-huh.
I think I figured out the problem.
Okay.
Well, the vice president's on the board. That's the problem. He doesn't know history.
Yeah.
No, she does not. She does not.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's crazy that the Chief Justice is in charge of the board.
Yeah. Chief Justice, Vice President of the United States, and So for all their we're a para-governmental organization, then why the hell do you have the Supreme Court and Congress members and the freaking executive branch on your board?
It's like the UN. It's like the Freemasons again. It's
well, I mean, for a group,
you smell that? You smell it? You smell it? Yeah. I smell it. I do.
It smells like bullshit.
Yes. What's that smell?
Anyway, so basically, they say they're completely independent from the government, and yet they're up to their freaking eyeballs. A little bit.
Yeah.
So they got their fingers in a lot of pies. But out of all the exhibits, of the 175 million, according to Wikipedia, but I've heard a higher number than that. 1% available for public view.
Oh, wow.
Out of over 175 million items.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm just blown away. I mean, okay.
Anyway, 21 different institutions, and 21 different entities, and they all 21 libraries and 14 education research centers and a zoo, historical and architectural landmarks. And a castle, which is really not open to the public except on request.
Right.
A freaking castle. They've got a freaking castle on the damn.
You need a castle Mall.
Why do you need a castle on the Washington Mall? That just blows my mind, and it's not open to the public.
Hide treasures in the castle.
Right.
I guess.
Part of that video, that means we can storm the castle. Arr!
Part of that video,
I got my castle.
Well, the part of that video I was watching is they uncovered a stairway that goes up to one of the towers, which was walled up.
All right. Okay.
And it's like, why did you wall up a stairway to one of the towers? I mean,
what are they hiding up there?
I don't know. I mean, this. Anyway, so we'll get into that shortly. But
they have the Ark of the Covenant up there. That's what it is.
Maybe I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
They'll have to pretend like oil is a non-renewable resource. Okay, there you go. Perhaps Smithson's still alive. He's a vampire. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tune in next week. We'll deal with that.
Anyway, tune in next week. We're gonna do Mr. Barab's choice. Gay bachelors. What did I miss? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mention cruel on in conjunction with that. Anyway,
Wow.
Not judging. Anyway, so here we are. We got 10. I got 10 Smithsonian conspiracy theories. This channel has only got 45 subs, but they put together a pretty good list. So this is just a list of some of the conspiracy theories connected to the Smithsonian. I like this list. It's pretty much the ones that I thought of. So here you go.
The top 10 conspiracy theories about the Smithsonian Institution. The Smithsonian Institution, often referred to as the nation's attic, is one of the most respected cultural and research institutions in the world. It houses over 154 million artifacts, artworks, and specimens, making it a treasure trove of knowledge. However, its vast collections and influential status have also made it the subject of numerous conspiracy theories. Below, we delve into 10 of the most intriguing and outlandish theories surrounding the Smithsonian. 1. The Smithsonian's giant skeleton cover-up. One of the most persistent conspiracy theories about the Smithsonian is that the institution is involved in covering up the existence of giant skeletons found in North America. According to this theory, numerous archaeological finds of giant human skeletons have been reported, only to be mysteriously confiscated and hidden by the Smithsonian to maintain the conventional narrative of human history. Proponents of this theory argue that the existence of giants would challenge mainstream anthropological and evolutionary theories, leading to a deliberate suppression of evidence. 2. Suppression of ancient advanced civilizations. Another popular theory posits that the Smithsonian has been involved in concealing evidence of ancient advanced civilizations in North America. This theory suggests that artifacts, including sophisticated tools, structures, and writings, have been discovered in the United States, but were hidden or destroyed by the Smithsonian to protect the traditional historical narrative. The belief is that revealing such evidence would disrupt the accepted understanding of pre-Columbian history and the development of human civilization. 3. The Smithsonian's role in UFO and alien technology secrecy. In the realm of extraterrestrial conspiracies, some theorists claim that the Smithsonian plays a key role in hiding evidence of UFOs and alien technology. The theory suggests that artifacts related to UFO sightings or crashes, including alleged extraterrestrial materials, have been collected and stored by the Smithsonian away from public view. These theorists believe the Smithsonian is part of a larger government conspiracy to keep the truth about alien contact hidden from the public. 4. The mysterious disappearance of the Smithsonian's missing artifacts. The Smithsonian has admitted that it has lost or misplaced thousands of artifacts over the years, which has fueled conspiracy theories about the intentional disappearance of important historical items. Some believe these missing artifacts include items that could reveal alternative histories or challenge established narratives, and that the losses are part of a deliberate effort to control historical information. 5. The Smithsonian and the cover-up of Atlantis. Atlantis, the legendary lost city, has long been a subject of fascination and speculation. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the Smithsonian possesses evidence that could prove the existence of Atlantis or other lost civilizations, but has chosen to keep it hidden. The theory suggests that the Smithsonian is part of a broader effort to suppress knowledge of advanced prehistoric civilizations to protect established historical and scientific paradigms. 6. The Smithsonian's alleged involvement in eugenics. The Smithsonian has a complex history with the field of anthropology, particularly during the early 20th century when eugenics was a prominent scientific movement. Some conspiracy theorists claim that the Smithsonian actively promoted eugenics and that it continues to hide evidence of its involvement in unethical scientific practices. They suggest that the institution's early research contributed to eugenic policies, and that this part of its history has been deliberately obscured. 7. The Smithsonian's secret tunnels and hidden vaults. Beneath the Smithsonian's museums in Washington, D.C., there are indeed tunnels used for maintenance and transportation. However, some believe these tunnels are part of a vast underground network that includes hidden vaults where sensitive or controversial artifacts are stored. Theories abound about what might be hidden in these vaults, from evidence of extraterrestrial life to suppressed historical documents that could rewrite history. 8. The Smithsonian's alleged connection to the Freemasons. The Freemasons, a secretive fraternal organization, are often linked to various conspiracy theories, and the Smithsonian is no exception. Some claim that the Smithsonian is controlled by the Freemasons or has been influenced by Masonic ideals. These theories often point to the institution's architecture, symbols, and the alleged Masonic affiliations of its founders as evidence of a deeper, secret agenda. 9. The Smithsonian and the rewriting of Native American history. There are claims that the Smithsonian has played a role in rewriting or distorting Native American history. Conspiracy theorists argue that the institution has suppressed evidence that would paint a different picture of pre-Columbian America, including the existence of advanced native civilizations, or the true extent of European settlers' impact on indigenous populations. These theories suggest a deliberate effort to control the narrative around Native American history to support colonialist views. 10. The Smithsonian's connection to the New World Order. The New World Order is a common theme in conspiracy theories, referring to a supposed secretive power elite with a globalist agenda. Some theorists believe the Smithsonian is part of this elite, using its influence to control information and perpetuate a particular worldview. The theory suggests that the Smithsonian's collections and research are selectively curated to support the agenda of this shadowy group, shaping public perception and understanding of history and science. Conclusion. While the Smithsonian Institution is a beacon of knowledge and research, its prominent role in shaping history and culture makes it a frequent target of conspiracy theories. These theories, ranging from the plausible to the outright bizarre, reflect the public's fascination with the unknown and the fear that powerful institutions may be hiding the truth. Whether you view them as mere entertainment or as a prompt for deeper inquiry, these conspiracy theories certainly add a layer of intrigue to one of the world's most venerable institutions.
Well, imagine that.
Come on. So, thoughts?
Yep. It is
Yeah,
just as I thought. Yep.
Okay. Which one stuck out to you guys?
Oh, the Freemasons, the New World Order, the usual.
The rewriting of American history.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan.
Okay. So
It's like
I'll...
they're involved with what? Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
Yeah, well, I think that was like underneath. I think I was underneath the. I can't remember. Giants were real. Yeah, owned by the Men in Black. T Bunny would know about Giants. He's friends with Rubius Hagrid. No, that is fake news. I do not know Rubius Hagrid. Okay. Well, they need Area 51 if they have the Smithsonian. I don't know. Bunny likes giant parkours. That is fake news. I don't think there's such thing as giant parkours. Smithsonian holds ancient parkours. No idea. They're not secret if they're on YouTube. Question: ancient Sumerian parkours. Anyway, Native Americans fecking engines. There you go. YouTube's protector of ancient civilizations. Colonists got rid of them. So not a museum, and a indoctrination center. Ninja Joe's pissed now. And history is all effed up. Yeah, okay. So,
Pretty much.
So there's a couple of a couple of the controversies that I've seen before that actually have some documentation to back them up. We're gonna go into that for a second. There is a rabbit hole that I went down where the present Smithsonian is extremely partisan.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw one where it was talking about the Clarence Thomas is not in the African American Museum. They left him out. The second African American male that was in the Supreme Court, and he's not in the African American Museum except in connection to the Anita Hill incident.
And one of the longest tenured, I should say, too.
Yes, one of the longest tenured, yes, and most accomplished.
Yeah.
He didn't even grow up speaking English, and now he's a Supreme Court justice. I think that's significant. I think it's pretty significant. Anyway.
Had dirt floors in his home, I heard.
Yep, dirt floors in the home. Yep. So basically, I also saw this where these kids were basically kicked out of the Smithsonian for having pro-life hats, and they were kicked out of the Smithsonian. They went up suing the Smithsonian, but the Smithsonian went and retrained their personnel to accommodate other political points of view. There's also was a display in the Smithsonian talking about whiteness, and if you switched out Caucasian with Jew, it would have sounded exactly like Nazi propaganda. And this was at the Smithsonian.
That's how they do it.
Yeah. So, the recent years, the Smithsonian's really gone way left. So it's no longer, at least in that part of it. Now, there's also the Smithsonian does have a racial history that's pretty, shall we say, controversial. You heard one of the controversies that was listed talking about eugenics.
Right.
They actually had a collection of other races' brains that they were studying. And the way they got them was kind of like it's almost like Dr. Frankenstein shit. The way they got them, literally taking them out of like from autopsies and things like that. It's like, what do they care? They're burying them anyway, so we'll just get the brain out. And, and so eugenics goes all the way back to like people like Margaret Sanger. Okay, this is stuff that the Nazis studied when they went.
I was waiting to say Hitler was into that. Yeah.
Yeah, heavily into that. Margaret Sanger, who also founded Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Well, golly.
Listed as Hillary Clinton as one of her biggest inspirations. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I digress. So anyway, so there you go. Yeah, Clarence should be an African American just because he's a dead lion. What is he talking about? Anyway, it's time profit. Whiteness boycott the Smithsonian to be shut down. Yes.
Yeah.
This racial stuff's not unique to Smithsonian. All governmental bodies, countries doing all over the world. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have to take up my MAGA hat, freaking bastards. I'll find Brain's best work alive. There you go.
Usually.
I'm not entirely sure, how to take that. Anyway, I'm going to get a MAGA hat. America is great already. Okay. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate that. Planned Parenthood is a scheme to kill the blacks. Yeah. It's eugenics, entirely eugenics. But So we're not talking about organization now. A lot of this is speculation, but that stuff is not speculation. That is actually fact. Okay. And it was like this slush fund came over from a guy who's never set foot in America, and they basically made this institution based off of supposedly his like wishes. Why his nephew never married. You know, I don't even know about that, but basically it became a slush fund. It became a organization that was supposedly para-governmental, except that you got government all over the board. And oh, by the way, the 3/5 of their money comes from the government. So how can you be para-government? And yeah. Anyway, Ayn Rand, a red shield, right? So Ayn Rand was right about a lot of shit. That's why she's hated so much. All right, so when it comes to the giants, okay, the giants. Now this is documented. This is well documented. So here we go.
Where did the skeleton go?
Dr. Parker
is in receipt of a letter from Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C.
and requested that he ship the skeleton to Washington for study by the experts, as they think it is that of a giant of prehistoric times.
The path leads to the Smithsonian.
Dr. Parker made shipment.
All the reports add up to nothing if there's no physical remains to back them up. It's very disconcerting, and it's a good question to ask. Where are the bones? There are hoaxes, there are misidentifications, bones go missing in a lot of reports. They're using bones to create roadways as fill, and there's a burial ground in Martha's Vineyard where everybody just digs up their skeletons and throws them in a pile.
Kind of looks human to me. That would be one big human.
And they're skeletal remains. They don't stay around forever. You would think the finding of giant skulls and giant jawbones would grab somebody's attention so much they would set them aside, they would want them displayed.
Things say that it was donated to the Smithsonian. I would say if the Smithsonian had massive 8-foot individuals, double rows of teeth, we would be seeing them on display.
It is a real legitimate question. I don't know how the two realities line up, but it doesn't make all this evidence go away. And I would say, where's the missing link?
I would pay money to go to an exhibit that had these things on display. So we need more than it was shipped to the Smithsonian.
Okay.
Yeah, we need more than it was just shipped to the Smithsonian. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
nice line from a guy who probably works for the government.
Right. Oh yeah, the experts, right. Evidence of giants disappearance of Smithsonian is overwhelming. Jake Paul has a giant skull next to his Pokemon.
Cigarette smoking man.
We have top men. Top men.
So what top men? Top men.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly.
So I know what that's from. Anyway.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is though, multiple incidences have happened where giants have been dug up. It's historical record that giants did exist all across the country, or all across the world. Of giants are in mythology. Maybe we'll do a giant episode one time. Giants episode on giants, not necessarily a giant episode. Anyway, I digress. But the
14-hour stream.
There you go. 14 hours.
No.
All right. Anyway, so this happened over and over again, and it always seems to end. The pathway always ends with the Smithsonian showing up, or Smithsonian saying, "Hey, send it to us," and some governmental apparatuses like saying, "Hey, the Smithsonian wants these bones. Maybe you should send them to them." And so the Afghanistan giant story from 20 years ago, I've heard of that. Yeah. And this also happens with dinosaur bones that were discovered where they shouldn't be, or actually dinosaur like out of time showing up. Like a pteranodon has was caught outside of the tombstone, and there's a picture of it. And it's like these men holding this pteranodon. It's very, very, very hard to fake that picture. And that picture has had records going back for way before Photoshop existed. And so, but where is that photo now? Gone, right.
It was sent to Washington.
It's probably sent to Washington, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, gotta watch that doc. Everything you've been told is a lie. Yeah, right. I don't believe in dinosaurs. No big deal. Yeah, they hide all the Bigfoot remains too. Yeah. So, now there's also another incident.
Yep.
Well documented. And this happened in the Grand Canyon.
Yes, I heard of this one.
Yeah, and I have gone back. I have tried to find this video somewhere else, but when we played this on Cannabis and Conspiracies, my friend Belmont, if you want to watch this episode, it's in the description. But when we played this on Cannabis and Conspiracies, they had been taken down once, and it'd been re-uploaded, and we played it, and I can't find it now, which means it was probably taken down again. So,
right.
Anyway, but it's still on Cannabis and Conspiracies, so I think we're safe to play it. But I'm going to play the one.
Go down on Rumble.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, so I probably should check Rumble. But anyway, dinosaurs were the cover, right? And some of the dinosaurs don't exist. They're variation of Triceratops. Turns out they're somewhere manufactured from elephant bones. Yeah. Right. And we won't even talk about the fact that there's human footprints in the same strata as dinosaurs. So
Dragons.
Dragons. Right. Dragons.
Right.
I expect they were all fakes, right?
I think there were little people there.
There you go. Anyway, what's the dragon episode from last week? We talked about a lot of this stuff. Anyway,
yeah.
So this is this is actually the video that we showed on Cannabis and Conspiracies. It's still up on Belmont's channel. It's still up on my channel. So I'm going to play it. But I got Belmont's clip, or the link to Belmont's is in the description. So go check it out. It was a good episode. We had a very unique chemistry that, that's worth watching. It's very entertaining. I still watch those episodes myself. But anyway, so I'm going to play basically a clip from that show.
But we have top men.
Top men.
Anyway, send it to Washington.
Yeah.
As opposed to the bottom men.
As opposed to bottom men. Yep. Yeah. We don't do that here. Anyway, so let me play this. All right. So on the other side of this, here we go.
What if everything we know about humanity's history is false? There are numerous accounts of artifacts being confiscated by or sent to the Smithsonian, never to be seen again. Is the Smithsonian Institute covering up America's real history?
Hundreds of the reports, literally hundreds of the reports, ends by saying the bones have been taken away by the Smithsonian for further investigation, and they never get heard of again.
Of the millions of pieces the museum owns, only a small fraction are actually displayed. Forget what they want you to see. What is the Smithsonian hiding? Are ancient Egyptian artifacts removed from the Grand Canyon, hidden in a Smithsonian warehouse?
According to reports, the contents of the cave are sent to Washington, but they mysteriously vanish from the historical record.
From stories of giant skeletons to ancient Egyptian artifacts, what is the Smithsonian hiding? At the end of the Indiana Jones film, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the legendary Ark of the Covenant, which has been obtained at great cost, is seen being pushed into some government warehouse, never to be seen again. But could such a secret warehouse, filled with hidden treasures and artifacts, really exist? Many researchers insist it does, and believe the Smithsonian Institute is deliberately hiding clues about humanity's true history. It's been called the nation's attic. The Smithsonian Institute warehouses some 150 million items collected over 200 years. Its 19 museums receive nearly 30 million visitors a year. At the time of the Smithsonian's founding, most of the continent had not been archaeologically explored. The powers that be knew that in order to maintain their version of history, they would need a repository for all the artifacts that do not fit their narrative. Could the true purpose of the Smithsonian be to cover up America's real history and replace it with the version the elite want us to believe? Many researchers believe so and point to numerous newspaper articles claiming incredible finds were taken by the Smithsonian, never to be seen again. Stuff like Egyptian artifacts and giant bones. One such article appeared in the Phoenix Gazette back in 1909 that still sparks fascination and curiosity to this day. It told of two explorers from the Smithsonian who stumbled on a mysterious cave in the Grand Canyon, a discovery that would be the link between an ancient world and ours. Inside the cave, according to the article, they found a dugout maze of geometrically perfect tunnels filled with ancient Egyptian artifacts, including mummies. But how could such an incredible discovery go unnoticed for so long? And why haven't more people heard of it? That's because the two explorers who found it were working for the Smithsonian, and the whole thing was swiftly covered up. The fantastic artifacts and mummies presumably removed.
According to the Gazette, the Smithsonian Institution sent out an archaeologist whose name was Jordan. And Jordan and Kincaid then began exploring these caves.
There are stories and rumors that an expedition was mounted after the discovery, and in one version, 109 truckloads of artifacts were actually removed with very great difficulty from the cavern system.
According to reports, the contents of the cave are sent to Washington, but they mysteriously vanish from the historical record.
It was a front page newspaper story in the 1909 Phoenix Gazette. What they reported was that the Smithsonian Institution was doing excavations in the Grand Canyon. It was being supervised by an archaeologist named Jordan. It all had to do with another explorer named Kincaid, who had been traveling down the Grand Canyon. And what he claimed he discovered was these caverns. Inside these caverns were, he thought, and the Smithsonian then later confirmed, according to the newspaper report, that there were Egyptian artifacts, there were Hindu, Buddhist artifacts from India. They were saying that, there were mummies in there, and that apparently they had a special vault in the Grand Canyon where they buried some of the leaders, people they had left behind with artifacts and things like that, and that the Smithsonian Institution got involved. They were hauling all this stuff out of these caves, including these mummies, swords, shields, statues. The Jordan, the archaeologist, he was going back to Washington D.C., back to the Smithsonian, and this is these exciting new discoveries in the Grand Canyon.
And they shut it all down.
Mm-hmm. My question would be.
There we go. I'm muted.
My question would be, if these discoveries are so damning and have so far-reaching implications that affect the powers that be, why not destroy them?
Yeah.
Destroy the evidence rather than lock it up in case it's discovered one day.
I don't know.
Unless they found something useful.
That's a good question.
Well, presumably they find something
Yeah.
useful. Maybe they destroy them afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why have
Right.
why have that smoking gun around?
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
If we didn't have a smoking gun crew,
more
we wouldn't have
Wookiee.
a show.
Wookiee, right?
That's also a good point. Yeah. My goodness. Please keep doing what you're doing. That'll give us
Right.
content.
Right. Exactly. I do have to say that watching that old clip, I didn't realize how much weight had gone out of my face, and plus with the dyeing my beard, I actually look younger, and this is about 2 years later. So,
Well, the weight
Anyway.
comes off the face. The weight comes off the face easy enough. It just stays everywhere else, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Still working on that spare tire. That's anyway.
Yeah.
The Mummy's Ancient Parkour is no idea. The only things Wiki's closets are empty Tecate board used pod seats. Okay. I think he says you're a pod person, Wookie. I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
No, gummies.
Gummies.
Oh, gummies. Oh, okay. All right. Pod seeds. Okay. I thought you said pod seeds. Okay. Don't forget the empty Bud Light cans. There you go. And Billy Mulvaney. And I don't know. He carries on his own conversations. I had nothing to do with anything. So anyway. Billy Mulvaney came out of Wookie's closet. Okay. All right. I don't even know what that's relevant to anything we're talking about. All right, so anyway, so I guess we're coming up onto the time where we decide. So we decide if we are going to make some kind of determination here. And are you with us enough, Wookie? Can you handle it, man? You still here?
I wonder what
somewhere?
people will say.
You there? All right.
Yeah, I'm here.
I guess Wookie. All right, Wookie's here.
I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here.
All right. So okay, I think I pretty much I showed what the Smithsonian says it is, and with their own words, I kind of used their own their own stuff. Did I do that well enough? You guys think I've been balanced enough tonight?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So okay, and so you got the conspiracies, you got what they say they are, and the rare data about how big they are and how many pies they got their fingers in. Thank you, Mrs. Good Stuff, for talking about pie. Anyway, so now we're coming to the end of the night, and there is a poll in my chat. Do you have one in yours, Wookie? I didn't check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's one in Wookie's also, and you were basically you got your 5 possibilities, 4 possibilities. You got debunked, confirmed, the middle, and undecided. Now debunked would be that this is all bunk. Smithsonian is definitely just a museum, and they just happen to have a lot of funding, happen to have a lot of connections to the government. There's nothing shady going on. All this is just conspiracy theory. Okay, that's debunked. Confirmed would be, yeah, they're basically connected to hell. All right, they're involved in everything. They're covering up everything in the trying to keep humanity and false narrative about what's really going on. And all they basically are is a shady organization that takes anything that doesn't fit the narrative of the New World Order and warehouses it and takes it away from the eyes of humanity. That's confirmed. All right. The middle would be, yes, they are a museum. They are a legitimate museum, but there are elements of it that are pretty shady and are connected to the government. Now, which was kind of that would be in the middle. Now, undecided would be, I just don't know enough. Undecided would be just like I don't have any conclusions one way or another. So we're going to start counterclockwise today. Mr. Abbey, what say you?
I'm going to go undecided, but yeah.
Again!
Again!
That's why we created that option for you. So there you go.
Well, see, Wookie's poll says, is the Smithsonian a museum? Yes, no, or maybe so. Those are the only three options. Technically, based on that, it is a museum, but is it legitimate? That's questionable, you know?
That's not our 4 options, Wookie. We have 4 options. I have clips over there that I play.
Have you ever heard of the concept of KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. Yes, no.
It is simple. There's just 4 options. That's simple.
There are 3 options.
Well, when I was coming up with this system, I didn't get this feedback. Okay.
Well,
hey, I didn't have very much time to throw the poll up because I totally freaking forgot it. So, yes, no, maybe so kind of fits. Is it a museum? Yes. Is it a museum? No. Or maybe so.
Well, technically, Bunny, we could get rid of one of your categories. The middle and undecided is kind of the same thing.
Well,
no, they're not. No, they're not.
Because if you're undecided, you're kind of in the middle.
It's a happy medium. There's a happy medium between completely, totally false and completely, totally confirmed.
I don't know if I've ever met a happy medium, but I've always met some depressed mediums. Come on.
Yes. It depends on how much drugs they have, too.
All right. So, Mr. Barab, what say you, sir?
Oi.
Well, here we go. I believe that the museum is a front.
Right.
Okay.
I believe it's a front. I believe that there is definitely a reason for why these things just tend to be stored and disappeared. So, yeah, I'm going with the whole New World Order, Freemasons, ticket, free first class ticket to hell kind of thing.
Okay.
So confirmed for me.
All right.
Absolutely.
Confirmed for you. Confirmed for me. What about you, Wookie?
Well, in my chat, the poll has 5 votes. 2 for yes, it's a museum. 2 for maybe so. And 1 for no. But I'm kind of thinking it's what B-Dog said earlier, that it's a cover museum. Yes, it's a museum. It's a museum at first glance on the surface. You see what's on the surface. And they do legitimate museum curation, restoration, preservation. Okay. But underneath, that's when you've got that little freaking commission with the vice president and the freaking, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and all the congressmen, senator bullshit, and they meet in secret in a place that nobody can go to, and I just think it's, it's a front, in my opinion. It's a good front.
So, in other words, what you're saying is you agree with me.
Yes.
See how quick that was.
Well, we're confirmed. Thank you for that long diatribe. Anyway.
Hey, anything I can do to help you out there, Bunny. You know me. I'm here. I'm here for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. Let me find out where we are over here, because evidently Wookie's not doing it tonight. All right. It's a museum, but probably hiding a dark secret too. Yep, it's a cover museum. Even if it's shady, it's still a museum by definition, even if there is false narratives. I suspect in every museum there will be shady stuff. Get off the fence, Abby.
Yeah.
No one decided, damn you.
Get off that damn fence, boy.
All right. Sure is the way I see it. I didn't meet happy medium. There was a sign on say, due to unforeseen circumstances, I cannot be here. Yes, sir. It's a front. Smithsonian has more front than Wiki Fever. And even if it is a front, it is still a museum. Okay.
Yes.
All
Baby got
right.
back.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close out my chat. I have 0 votes. So anyway, on my chat, nobody decided to vote, so no big deal. So all right. Weird. That is weird. Hold on. Let me refresh the page.
Are you having a problem?
Yeah, probably. It is what it is. All right, let me refresh the page. There should be somebody voting. Oh, poll complete. 0 votes. Okay, so my poll closed out. So I guess we'll have to go. Looks like most of the ones that tonight have been confirmed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say confirmed. Everybody agree with that?
I do, yes.
Okay, Wookie, you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go with confirmed that it is indeed not a museum. So there we go. There you go. Park holders still T bunnies votes. Okay. Evidently, you can't start your poll. Or I put it in the day before. I should have just started it like right before we got showtime. Evidently, it is out if you don't.
What do we think? What do we think is the actual true history of things then, if so much of it is allegedly being hidden?
Well, I think a lot of it, to me, a lot of what I see is basically them suppressing creationism. And so, anyway. So I think basically it's suppression of creationism, attack on Christianity, and because you see the Bible has giants in the Bible. They're Nephilim, they're a mixture of the angels and man.
That's
the
right.
Bible, there's also other giants in the Bible, and that were in Canaan and blah blah blah, things like that. Also, there's mention of the Bible of dinosaurs and stuff like that being in the same time as man, and so I just think it's basically like they're suppressing the real true, like that evolution's full of crap, and that
Right.
mankind has there's a lot more going on with mankind than it's not over thousands and millions and millions of years, but just a few thousand. So anyway.
one conspiracy theory which is kind of interesting. It's based on the whole premise of the Lewis and Clark expedition. In that their real mission, the expedition, was to verify if there had been a land claim previously to the creation of the United States. And they were on a mission to verify that, to find land markers and things, according to rumor, that there were such things done by previous people from Europe or other countries, per se.
So I got a question. When was the Lewis and Clark expedition, and when was the Smithsonian established?
The Lewis Clark expedition happened in the late 1700s, and the Smithsonian was established during James K. Polk's, which is right before the Civil War, a few years, and that's mid 1800s. So,
they were in the late 1700s, so probably under the second president, which was Adams. Am I correct in that? My thoughts. Yeah. So I think it was Adams who was the one that commissioned them to do the expedition. But there's some evidence that lended lends credence to the fact that they were also doing a land survey or a search for survey markers,
right?
Stones,
Right.
things like that,
Right.
markers that would lay claim to the land, and I think that's why one of them died on the trip. He was killed. But anyway,
Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and Clark, they didn't die.
No,
one of them did. Meriwether, one of them did.
He died after we went back east.
Yeah, after we went back east.
Yeah, when he was coming back. Yeah, exactly.
No, he didn't die on it.
He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Well, I heard.
He made
So
it
I
all
heard
the way
that he
back.
was. I heard. Well, the information that I read that it was claimed he was killed.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
He wasn't killed during the expedition.
not
because
during
he
the
came-
expeditions, on the way back.
So,
But
okay.
I was,
anyway,
we referenced the Indiana Jones and they had the clip there. It's a question. Do you think the Smithsonian actually has the Ark of the Covenant somewhere in there? That's possible.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It's a toss up. Who knows?
Yeah. I know there was in Jerusalem there was some kind of tunnel found under the city in a sewer, I think, and it was
it's located under the dome of rock.
Yeah, it was speculated that it might have been there at one point, but
And then there's speculation that it's an Ethiopian monastery there.
right. Or maybe the Smithsonian's got it.
Well, hold on a second. Just curious. Both of them made it back to St. Louis to report their findings to President Jefferson via map sketches in various journals. So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, they both made it back. So,
Alrighty then.
All right.
no problem. Just checking. Anyway, tonight, so we decided that the Smithsonian is actually a shady organization that has a veneer of a museum, but is really doing a lot more, which is it's not preserving history, it's trying to shape history. And so there you go. Anyway, damn Clintons. I'm not sure what the Clintons have to do with it, but the British have the Ark. Okay. Anyway, so that's been
linked to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Well, the British are behind everything. Anyway, I mean, we had explorers before America existed. We would found the Ark first. Okay, whatever. Anyway, all right. So that's been Cryptids and Conspiracies. It's been Wookiee fever. When he's not eating and ignoring the chat. And it's Mr. Cruel Barab, our friends of Scotland, and Abby, someone who came in late, but contributed more than Wookiee. So appreciated. That's appreciated. Anyway,
see Wookiee. See Wookiee. Virtue.
Virtue.
There you go.
You got a lot of virtue.
Anyway, so that's been Cooper Telepathic Binding Comics. Thank you to the chat that showed up. And we will see you next time.
In the chat.
All right.
We'll see
Have
you.
a good one, everyone.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you, bye.